In the words of Claude Lorette, the Royal Ottawa saved his life, and giving back is his way of saying thank you. Claude's first visit to the Royal was 20 years ago under police escort, following a bout of drinking in an attempt to cope with a very rough time in his life. After eventually hitting rock bottom, he returned to the Royal for help, first successfully addressing his addictions, then later dealing with a diagnosis of bipolar disorder.
I always thought that I was disappointing people, and I was disappointing myself because I was disappointing people. And so I always tried to do that little bit extra. And inevitably, my mental illness would just maybe crash and burn, and my self-esteem was always at the low bottom. And trying to recover from those peaks and valleys was a daily struggle, and still confused as to what's going on, and having the inability to ask anybody for help because I was too proud to ask for help. I thought I could do this myself. That's what most of my life has been like.
Subsequently, Claude became determined to inspire others to weather their own mental health journeys. In 2005, Claude became a member of the newly formed Client Empowerment Council, where today he acts as chair. The council gives patients of Royal Ottawa a voice and brings issues forward to improve quality of life inside the hospital setting and out in the community.
When I first came on board, it was a very small council. We were just starting off, and there was a lot of talk about, getting involved in our own treatment and advising. And it was just a dream. And one of the things that I come to discover was that I was so naive back then. I didn't know what couldn't be done.
Nominator Lisa Murata believes staff appreciate Claude's contributions and clients trust him, since he understands what it's like to be a person in care. Claude shares his story freely to help others better understand mental health care from someone who's benefited from treatment.
The Royal Ottawa, when I was growing up, it had that stigma, you want to go to that loony bin sort of an idea. And when I was first brought there, the first thing I wanted to do was get out. But when I chose to go back there for help, the Royal Ottawa was there for me, and I'm very grateful for that.
He's involved in the education to the community, training sessions for nurses, staff orientation, and he participates at the Royal's board level to ensure the voices of clients are heard by the leadership team. Claude also represents clients externally on a number of task forces and committees, including the Champlain Mental Health Network. He's spoken numerous times about mental health issues to City Council and to reporters from print, radio, and TV outlets.
If I think along the lines that I'm speaking for the thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of people out there who have been diagnosed with mental illness or have not yet been diagnosed, it's overwhelming. It's just that's something that nobody can do. But what I can do is be their voice in the community, and that's how I did it. Is that they needed somebody to go there and speak on their behalf, and I was the one who had the privilege of doing so.
His nominators have told us that Claude consistently and tirelessly works on behalf of Royal Ottawa clients to advocate, educate, and collaborate for care. He acts as a watchdog against stigma in the development of internal policies and practices and works for systemic improvements to care that reflect best practice and ensure all clients are treated with dignity and respect. Claude also volunteered to share his story as one of the spokespeople for the Royal Ottawa Foundation for Mental Health's unique You Know Who I Am campaign.
It inspires me to do more, because if this is what happens when I do the little bit that I can do, what more can we do?
Given the thousands of hours Claude has dedicated to giving back, there's no doubt he's more than repaid any debt he felt he owed to the Royal. And now it's our turn to thank him with this well-deserved 2009 Inspiration Award.
I'm Claude Lorette, and now you know who I am.